do more than you overthink. You will learn so much more by just taking the first step than spending 30 days thinking about the first step. Okay, so if your first step is, I need to build a brochure, sit down, start drafting one. You will get so much further by doing that than by thinking about the fact that you need to make a brochure for the next 30 days. And you will feel less overwhelmed by just doing it, by making progress, right? It's amazing, procrastination actually creates more overwhelm than you think. Also, stay solution focused. One thing I tell myself all the time, one of my favorite things to tell myself is this problem has a solution. Every problem has a solution. That's why I like math. You know, it teaches you that every problem has a solution. It may be complex right now, but eventually there is a solution. But the solution starts by knowing what the ideal is, which is why I always ask people, what is it that you want? What is your ideal client? Not what other people told you an ideal client should be. What is your ideal client? What does it look like to you? When you decided to start a business, what was it going to look like? You know? So starting with what's ideal, then going back to where you are and figuring out the gap in between, which is part of the reason that we had the one-on-one coaching sessions. I got great feedback from people on virtual about how those went. And I know I still got one more I gotta get to, but yes, so figuring out where you are, where you're trying to get to, right? And then coming up with a strategy for the in-between, which of course is a big part of what I like to help people with, the strategy of the in-between, where you are and where you're trying to get. Many times it works, but coming up with that strategy action plan on how to get there. I know that we talked about a lot this weekend, but getting from overwhelm to momentum means picking your first next step. Not figuring out when you're going to do everything under the sun, because all of us here are busy people for different reasons. We have family demands, business demands from clients that we already have, so many people jobs, right? So there's never going to be a time that you could do everything all at once. You have to pick your next step, which again was a big part of the focus of each of your next best step sessions with the coaches. So decide what that step is and put it on the calendar to do it, right? Now your next step may be with me. It may be to work with me in my program. I would love that. And a lot of the ways that we try to help people get past overwhelm and making progress very quickly is I built a program that is actually somewhat brief. It's pretty direct. It's built for busy people, right? The same way we're supposed to be catering to busy people. I know you guys are busy. So if you can, I just want to answer a few questions that I've gotten just chatting with people. What I ask you to dedicate to the program is 1 to 3 hours a week. If you can give me 1 to 3 hours a week, you should be able to make it through a module every 3 weeks. If you give me three hours a week, you probably do faster, a module every 3 weeks, and you'll be done with everything about halfway through the program. That's also enough time for you to either join the coaching calls or watch the replay, because we try to keep it under an hour. Sometimes it's even half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes. Every now and then it can go over if we're having a very deep discussion, but generally it's about an hour. And that also gives you an hour to do your homework. By the way, the homework templates are usually about 1 page or 2 pages. You're not writing essays, but they are focused on exactly what you need to do to actually make progress, right? How to build the right SEO tags to get traffic, how to build a marketing plan, etc. So if you can give me 1 to 3 hours a week, you can make it through this program.